Hi, this is HardballRetro. Welcome to the Retrodome. Today we'll be doing the third in a series of videos, which is a tutorial on how to conduct a draft in old-time baseball. This game was published by Stormfront Studios back in 1995. It includes all of the players dating back to 1871 through 1981. Um, Comes with Negro League teams, um, player photos. It's got the ability to select either Mel Allen or Kurt Gowdy as your play-by-play analyst. And so let's see, I did a draft using the 1954 season, all of the players. And so video number one is the draft. Video two is simulating a season. We played an all-star exhibition game in the middle of the season. Checked out the standings several times. And here we're going to look at the final standings, the leaderboards, and we'll do a quick team-by-team run-through. So let's look at the final standings. Did this at the end of the second video as well, but we have Detroit winning the American League by an 8-game margin. Now again, these team names are not going to mean much to you at the moment unless you looked at the other videos because this is simply Detroit, but it's not the actual Tigers. It's who was drafted onto the Detroit squad and onto the Cleveland squad and so forth. So, but at any rate, Detroit won the American League by 8 games. The White Sox were 9 back. Philadelphia A's 10, and so forth. I was the only human participant in the draft. I chose to manage and be the general manager for the Chicago Cubs. I didn't expect to do as well as I did, but we reeled off a 20-game winning streak. And we were in first at that time that the streak started. I think we were in first by 5 or 6 games. So we kind of ran away with the division, or ran away with the league here, I should say. And Philly finished a distant 32 games back. Pittsburgh, 105 losses. So let's dive in. Before we do a team by team and team by team and the league leaderboards, let's just look at the if there were any box scores generated by my criteria here. We're looking for players with 5 or more hits, 3 or more homers in a game, 4 or more steals in a game, any no-hitters, one-hitters, or 14-plus strikeout games. So if we click on see box scores here, you need to select that before you start your season. Alright, so here's a game, 5 or more hits by a batter. There seems to be a good number of these, so maybe we won't drill down into each of these, but just do an example one here. Alright, 5 for 5, so Walker Cooper, 5 for 5 there. Alright, done. Here's a one-hitter. Let's check that out. The only hit was by Al Rosen, so I got 1 hit here. And we need to go to other team. Milwaukee beat us 4-zip. And the pitcher was Don Larson. Look at that. Don Larson with a 1-hitter. 2 walks, 2 Ks, gave up a triple, and hurled a 4-0 shutout against the Cubs. So a lot of 5 hits in a game. We're going to skip these. How about 3-homer game? 3 homers by Ted Kluszewski for Cincinnati. So he actually wound up back on the Reds. Look at that. 4 for 5, 3 homers, 5 ribbies. That was against, let's see. He hit 1 each off of Billy Heft, Johnny Sane, and Larry Jansen. Alright, here's a 1-hitter. Let's check that out. One hitter, only hit was by Billy Gardner. And the pitcher, Joe Coleman, throws a one-hitter, 3 walks, 5 Ks, and pitches a 5-0 shutout for Cleveland. All right, let's skip ahead. 5 or more hits in a game, 3 or more home runs by a batter. Other team, Gil Hodges, 3 homer day. Pitcher, Early Wynn gave up 3 homers. So Hodges is on Pittsburgh. Okay. Here's a one-hitter on June 14th. Cleveland at New York. Only hit was by Gardner. Did we already look at this? Joe Coleman. Yeah, we did look at that. Okay, my apologies. Let's get back. Oh, I have to skip ahead here. There we go. All right. Here we go. One hitter, August 2nd. Nino Escalera got a hit for Baltimore. And the pitcher for Cleveland this time was Willard Nixon. 1 hit allowed, 5 walks, 4 Ks, but he hurled a shutout. All right. Couple more one-hitters. August 25th, we have a one-hitter. Bobby Morgan with the only hit. The pitcher, Johnny Schmitz. 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 Ks. And he beat Larson that time. Okay. Larson on the receiving end of that one. All right, and our final one-hitter, we had no no-hitters, it appears. Wayne Belardi got the hit. And Baltimore wins a 1-0 affair with Mickey McDermott throwing the one-hitter. Gave up, no, actually they lost, sorry. They lost that game. Only allowed 1 hit, 3 walks, 5 Ks. So, one hitter on the losing side of that one. All right, let's go to the statistical leaders. Make sure we click on sim season so I'm not doing as I did in video number 2 and reading off historical numbers. All right, so right now we're sorted on at-bats. We want to look at, we do have qualifying turned on there. Top batting average, Don Mueller, and I believe he was leading at the All-Star break as well. He winds up with a 374 average. Bobby Avila, 367. Ted Williams, Smokey Burgess, Duke Snyder, and you can see the rest of these here. One of the things I do appreciate with old-time baseball and Tony La Russa 3, it was I would say one of the first games, if not the first. I'd have to really look back and check, year-wise and everything, where it did, you could allow for injuries. I think it had a maximum of 30-day injury list, but it would substitute players in and out from your reserves. And so you do see, like Ted Williams with 412 at-bats, which is, I don't remember his exact number from 1954, but you will see some folks that won't, go too far over what they actually did within reason here. So, even if I had plugged Williams into the lineup, which I'm sure he was for Washington for both versus righties and lefties, it would appear that he was injured at some point and only got into a certain number of games. So let's look at on-base average. Jim Gilliam. Okay, Ted Williams. Slug. Duke Snyder. Williams, Kluszewski, Musial, Rosen. Everybody you would kind of expect up there is up there. Let's undo qualify, and we'll skip over to just real quick look at doubles, triples, homers. Okay, Musial 56 doubles, Kiner 53, but only 15 homers for Kiner. Interesting. That may have been partially due to the ballpark, his home park being different. That's definitely a factor here. Jackie Robinson 48, Bobby Morgan up there. All right, how about triples? Okay, only leaders with 9. And home run. Yeah, home runs are definitely suppressed here a bit. Kluszewski with 30. Sauer, Hodges, Severs, Snyder, Williams. Oh, look at Williams though, 167 walks. Let's look at that. Well, that's really interesting. I'd have to see why that happened there. I think what might be up here is that I modified some players that were that came over as right-handed batters when you do the import, and I created them as switch hitters. I did not go in and edit their split stats, so I think that's what's accounting for some of the odd numbers here. So that's unfortunate, but again, I was doing this as a tutorial, not as a if I was doing this as a serious replay effort, I probably would have gone in and made sure that those were addressed. So that's unfortunate, but that is probably why that occurred. Runs scored, Robinson, and Musial over 100, RBI, Kluszewski, Musial, okay, cool. And I know there wasn't a whole lot of base running back in the day there. Yeah, 29 by Temple. Okay, I think there's a lot of other oddness here. We don't care about grounded into double plays, and you can look at pinch hit home runs. Dusty Rhodes with 8. Everybody else with like 1 here. So that was one of my key pickups towards the end of the draft was Dusty Rhodes. All right, let's take a look at the pitching numbers here. Most innings, Robin Roberts. That makes sense. So far, so good. Let's look at qualifiers and then ERA. And we want to look at least. So out of qualifiers, Mo, Birchie, and Podbillion had the worst ERAs. All right, best ERAs, we've got Bob Turley, Lou Burdett, Dean Stone, Joe Coleman, Allie Reynolds, Robin Roberts, Russ Meyer, all sub 2 ERAs. And let's check out wins, and then we want to go to most here and uncheck qualify, because we can look at all players for this. We don't need to look at qualifiers. Haddix with 22 for Chicago. Joe Coleman 20 for Cleveland. Gromick 19. Porterfield 18. Roberts 17. A bunch of guys with 16. Let's skip ahead here. Losses. Anybody with 20 losses? Yep, Virgil Trucks for St. Louis, 21 losses. Save lead goes to Mel Parnell with 22 for Boston. Complete games. 11 for Porterfield. 4 shutouts for Coleman. Batters faced. Yeah, we don't care about some of this other stuff. Opposition batting average. Ratio. About strikeouts. You know, strikeouts weren't a big thing back in the 50s, so Haddix, Whitey Ford, Billy Pierce, Turley, and Antonelli. All right. And yeah, there we go. All right, so what if we do by, let's see, by team. And I don't know if I want to go through all of these teams just for the sake of time here. Let's see. Let's see how quickly we can breeze through this. Maybe we'll do it. All right. Let's just sort by average. All right. So there's the top 12 for the Cubs, Dusty Rhodes. And you can see by at-bats here who had full playing time and who didn't. Okay, cool. And yeah, let's do this. I'll do, yeah, we can do it this way. Just that way we're team by team. And by innings is fine, sure. Yeah, maybe we'll do it by innings. And at-bats, I don't know. Gromik, 214, Haddix, Grimm, Whitey Ford, look at that. Starting rotation, pretty stout. And the bullpen, we did okay there. So let me go back to batting. I'll just do it on sort on at-bats here. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so let's click through to the power numbers. So Musial, Rosen, 21 homers apiece. Post, Gordon, 10. Jackie Robinson, 11. So, but the 56 doubles by Musial, 48 by Jackie, 38 by Burgess, 34 by McDougald. So we had a pretty fair offense all the way around, I'd have to say. All right, next team. We'll do all the Nationals, then we'll do all the Americans, I guess. Let's see, Milwaukee here. Mignoso just hit under 300. Goodman, 308. And then Morgan, 48 doubles. Mignoso and Goodman, Bullweg, all with 30-plus doubles. Mignoso leading the way with 11 jacks. And then for pitching on this team, we've got Turley and Rush, pretty good. Pollitt did okay. Larson pitched well. Pierce, pretty good rotation there. But then we had Bob Miller. And excellent numbers by Don Mossy here. Okay, so I'll go back to batting, go to one team, go to Brooklyn. Yeah, I think we can do all the teams. We'll just do a bit of a speed run through here. Gus Bell, 301. Andy Carey, 299. Sauer, 294. Let's skip over to power columns here. Sauer, 26 jacks. 41 doubles by Bell. 37 by Adams. 31 by Lopata. Okay, pitching. Early Win, 239. Hacker, 240. Couple guys in the bullpen got beat up a little bit. Nothing too terrible. Just clicked on all players. I want to click on one team. just looked at these guys. Hold on. Cincinnati. Okay. Forgot what team I was on. All right. Kiner 288. Ashburn 291. Clue. The big Clue with a 311 batting average. Let's skip over to the power numbers. Kluszewski with 30 homers. 132 walks, 136 walks for Ashburn. 53 doubles by Kiner. And pitching wise, rotation looks pretty good here. A couple of high ERAs here. Corwin and Joey J getting beat up. Hey, there's Tommy Lasorda. All right, good for Tommy getting in there. Okay, let's go to batting for the Giants. Jim Finnegan, 319 hitter. Yeah, only two guys tied with 11 homers there. A couple, Finnegan and Torgerson with 30 some odd doubles. Let's look at the pitching. Antonelli, Dwayne Pillette doing well here. Okay. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Go to the Phillies. Check out their batters first. Ernie Banks. I'll have to see what his... Yeah, it looks like his numbers were down across the board. His slug is pretty low. Duke Snyder, 323 though. The 565 slug, 441 on base. Awesome numbers for the Duke. Nellie Fox at 314. Let's tab over to power numbers. Snyder, 39. Doubles, 24 round trippers. Jimmy Pearsall with 13 jacks. Not a whole lot else going on offensively there. Pitching lines. 192 for Allie Reynolds. Awesome. Bullpen got a little bit beat up here. Okay, next team. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, I believe, had 105 losses. We'll come back to their pitching in a second. Ray Boone, 288. 285 for Gil Hodges. So, yeah, unfortunately, yep, you can see that Shane Dienst, I think the switch hitters really suffered for me not fixing their splits. So, that's my bad. Let's tab over here. Hodges, 25. Ray Boone, 15. Rapolsky, 11. Rapolsky, 38 doubles. Nice. Magley, 271. Couple pitchers near a 5 ERA here. 5+ ERA down in the bullpen here. Presco and Shea. Weissler. So that explains the 105 losses, I would say. All right, St. Louis. Jim Rivera had the most at-bats. 328 average for Eddie Waitkus. Power-wise, anything going on here? 24 jacks for Royce Severs with 35 doubles. 36 doubles for Sammy White, 37 for Eddie Yost. Pitching-wise, Virgil Trucks, 1.83 for Dean Stone, nice. 220 for Grissom. The rest of the team, kind of mediocre, I'd say. Alright, let's look at, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's look at Boston here. Boston's batting. Wally Moon, Yogi Berra, Gene Baker 320, 297 for Al Smith. Check the power numbers. 14 homers for Berra and Wirtz. 34 doubles for Yogi there. Pitching. Got Warren Spahn, Ed Lopat, 1.99 ERA for Russ Meyer. Good pitching all around, I would say. Mel Parnell, excellent. Okay. Chicago White Sox, what do we got? Granny Hamner. Nobody hit for particularly high average. Nobody slugged really well. 15 homers for Del Crandall. 39 doubles and 9 triples for Hamner. Pitching side, we've got Robin Roberts, 1.99. Everybody else fared pretty well here. Okay. Cleveland, 54. Go to batting first. Come back to that. Okay, Jackie Jensen. Jensen with 17 bombs. Eddie Matthews only 15, but he did walk 104 times. Let's see on the pitching side. We've got 186 for Joe Coleman. 229 for Howie Judson. 243 for Willard Nixon. Okay, pretty good there. Detroit. Then we had Mueller's 374 average, followed by Johnny Temple at 314. Greengrass at 12 homers. Mueller with 42 doubles. Reese with 37. Pretty good. Kurt Simmons, 207. Lou Burdett, 1.78. Maury Martin, 1.85. Okay, New York AL. Alvin Dark, Danny O'Connell. There's Willie Mays. Campy Campanella's here. Okay, doubles, 30 from Willie Mays and D. Fondy. Mays with 17 jacks. Pitching line. Pitching, Ned Garver, otherwise pretty middle of the road. Hal Newshauser and Ray Crone pitched well. Norleski, not too bad, I guess. Philadelphia A's. Jablonski, Keene, Busby, and Avila. Mickey Vernon, they all did pretty well here. Vernon with 15 homers leading the way. Okay, Bob Lemon, 277. Actually, top to bottom, pretty good pitching staff here. All right, Baltimore batting. We have actually nobody doing very well here. Nobody with a 400 slug. 17 homers for Doby, 15 for Hank Thompson. 226 for Rashi, 201 for Hoyt Wilhelm, 171 for Fritz Dorisch. And Washington batting. 328 for Ted Williams. There it is. And 23 doubles, 23 homers, 167 walks. And pitching for Washington is Mike Garcia, 229. Pretty good all around. Turk Lone got blown up. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up here. So really, the only issue that I probably should have addressed prior to even starting the draft would have been fixing those. Not only setting the switch hitters to be switch hitters instead of right-handers as they were imported from the old-time baseball CD, but fixing their split stats. Probably would have fixed some of those quirky numbers with base on balls, and I think probably affected some of their other batting numbers as well. I'm sure it did. So apologies for that, but otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial on how to conduct a draft with old-time baseball. And as I mentioned, at least in the draft video, that this is basically the same. Um, the steps in the tutorial should work the same in Tony La Russa Baseball 3, and although I haven't tested it, I believe it should work the same in Tony La Russa Baseball 4. So, hope you enjoyed this. Keep on playing ball. Take care, and we'll see you soon.